Hey guys, yes, it's that time of year again at the Antique Radio Club of Illinois Radiofest. Now this year I'm not just going to peruse the offerings and dig through knobs and such, and of course record some video for you all, but I'm also on a mission. Somebody there has a special CRT and requested my help to test it. Here's something you don't see every day. The world's first commercial color picture tube, 15GP22. I am here testing it for someone. Brought my trusty CR70. Just did an initial hookup and it's drawing a lot of current, but we can't see the filament glow because of the shield. So we're going to see if we can take it off right now.
So they had a table here and they had 2 bowls.
For the video.
They have,
wow.
Okay.
That's a lot of work.
Getters don't look good, but we'll see. The filament's certainly still good, and it's drawing power. This thing draws a lot of current. I think like 1.8 amps or something like that. So it's actually loading down. My tester so much I can't even. Normally I can get up to about 7.5. So.
But it's good that the filament's not burning out.
No. On the other hand, I don't see a glow, but actually, yeah, no, I can. There's actually 3 filaments. There's one inside of each of these guns. So yeah, of course it'd be 1.8 amps because it's 0.6 amps per filament. That's the standard ratings. Times 3, 1.8. Well.
Absolutely.
Well, we let the filaments run and we got no emissions, and after about 15-20 minutes it seems like the filaments let loose, not drawing current anymore. So, well, if they can ever get the rebuilding operation go, you know, maybe this can be resurrected someday.
I actually got the exact same model Portacolor, but in sort of wreck state. That I might be able to get working again. I just... Is it junk here?
You should actually go up there and which are always more expensive. I just got so many. I wouldn't buy them otherwise. They're everywhere. Yeah, no, he's the definitive word on tube testing.
Yeah, the problem is my people have Yeah, so I'm getting tired.
Got a convergent thing
Right,
going
right,
on.
right. So it's either another night on the road or
Yeah.
you.
How are your grandkids doing?
Looks like the storm's rolling in. People are starting to pack up. So now people are going to yell at you for letting that TV get all wet.
That TV was only $25. Who cares? The TV.
Poor TV.
I guess they're more worried about the time.
At least put a blanket over it or something.
I get it. They were worried about the tire.
So, what did I bring home? Well, not a whole lot, but a few interesting items, I think. First up, we've got this nice TriCraft TV antenna kit model number T-11, 1535 North Ashland Avenue. That's actually not too far from my place. Now, this was new in the box, sealed, until apparently somebody popped it open while the seller wasn't looking for a peek inside. But I'm pretty sure it's all here. Now, just going by the photo on the box, I'm pretty sure I've seen these before. I know some fellow collectors that have this antenna, but I've never actually seen one in person or owned one before, so that's why I was happy to get this. And here's what you get inside. So yeah, it is definitely a kit. This base is bigger than I realized, but I like it. And this coil is a bit not what I expected. Because check out the picture on the box. And then check out this. Don't quite look the same, do they? I'm guessing once you put it on these pole pieces, it's going to stretch out lengthwise and get smaller in diameter. So this would be the vertical piece that screws into the base, and then we have two horizontal arms that go into this, and then this stretches between the extents of the horizontal arms. So you can see it's got to stretch out more than twice its current length. A little bit of hardware and some nice twin lead, and get some assembly instructions. So that'll be fun to put together. Next up was an item at the cellar right next to the cellar, which is a nice Zenith t-shirt. Zenith long distance radio. I can always use more t-shirts. These are only $10, so hey, well, why not? And the same guy just happened to be selling Novus, so I got a couple bottles of Novus number 2. Can never have enough of this stuff. I use it on everything. Which brings us to my last item, which will use quite a bit of this, I imagine, which is an Admiral Bakelite TV cabinet. Just what I need, right? And there's no chassis, no picture tube, no knobs. It is just a cabinet. Now, I specifically wanted this. I saw the same seller brought it up to the Wisconsin Antique Radio Club swap meet, which had a special focus on TVs this past July, but I wasn't able to make it. However, I did tell him I was interested in this, and he was nice enough to bring it to the Illinois swap meet. Now, why would I want this? Simple. I got one of these sets some time ago on eBay, and the seller on eBay didn't show any pictures of the back, this side near the back. And what do you know, when it arrived, that piece was broken out and being held in place with duct tape. Now, he claimed it was fine when it left his place and it must have been damaged in shipping, which of course was BS, because then how did there happen to be a piece of duct tape holding that piece in place, and how come he didn't have any photos showing that side in the eBay listing? Anyways, what was I going to do, ship it back to him? Nah, I just glued the broken piece in place, and it doesn't look too bad, but given the chance to get one that's unbroken, of course, I jumped on it. I like the Bakelite pattern on this too. Now, sure, it's dirty right now and it has some splotches on it, but it has a really nice grain to it, which will be a lot more apparent once I get a little Novus polish working on that. Now, it's not just a cabinet. It came with one other item which solves a mystery, which is the faceplate. Some of you may recall, a while back, I got another exact one of these. $10 at a local Craigslist find. And I did a full restoration series on that Admiral 20X12, and that set is in excellent condition. But what puzzled me is when I got it, it had a faceplate unlike any I'd ever seen before. This, which is comprised of a piece of cardboard with some crunchy foam, and then this cheap injection molded piece of plastic, and then just a sheet of clear, I don't know, plexiglass or Lexan or something. Every other Admiral I'd ever seen before had one of these. Single cast piece of acrylic or something like that, painted from behind to give it this nice translucent effect. So I was speculating in that video, could this have been an aftermarket replacement? Maybe the original got scratched, gouged, broken, who knows? Or did Admiral just go cheap at the end of the production run? Well, this cabinet also has this type of bezel made up of the same deal, separate pieces. So I think that pretty clearly answers the question that it is factory original. And Admiral must have just shifted to that production technique somewhere along the line. Alright, so that's cool. I will spend a good bit of time polishing this up and then slide a chassis into here and get it all one nice working complete set. So that's what I came home with. Now what I did not come home with was my Sencor CR70, because throughout the course of the day, between talking to people and shopping and the rain and all the confusion, I left it behind with the seller that I got this from. I know where it is. It's in his van. So I'm pretty sure I'll get it back someday. I'm just not sure how exactly. Worst case scenario, he could ship it to me. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll see him again at some swap meet in the not too distant future. So, all in all, it was a pretty good day. Just a little mad at myself for leaving behind my CR70. I guess to wrap up this video, I'll throw a little bit of polish on the top of this, because I want to see how nice this is going to look, and I'll put this together. Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. Assemble the die poles to center insulator. Well, that would be 2 long arms. Into the central plastic piece. I want to be careful with these because I've seen this kind of material before. It's aluminum, and they use this really thin coating to make them look like brass. It comes off pretty easily. It's probably the same kind of stuff they use on Predictas. Which I've surmised is like an amber tinted lacquer. You can see there's already some flaws in it. Anyways, let's see. Line up holes and die poles in center insulator and insert screws 9-part way. Oh, I see. Oh, I guess I put these in the wrong way. Okay, yeah, I see. Thought maybe those holes were for the curly Q antenna, but no, they're for little screws that go in there. As far as the year on this, I'm not sure. Late 50s, maybe? Well, it could be older than that even, I suppose. Alright, well, there's only 2 screws in here, so this has got to be them. Oh, it says to insert them only part way, though. Well, and these screws are kind of big for those holes, but what else? Like I said, these are only screws that came with the kit, so it's got to be them. Alright. Put in insulators 4 into dipoles as shown in figure 1. Alright. These guys. Oh, I see. Insulators, sure. Now comes the fun bit. Which is to stretch out that coil. So you put the plastic insulator on the end, and then that locks into, if I can manage it, it goes into the plastic cup. There we we go. Now I got to stretch this thing all the way out. Oops. To go onto the other end. Yeah, that takes a bit of force. Man. Alright, I think I can do it. Okay. Get in there. Alright, there we go. Cool. Alright, what next? And now it's all about hooking up the dipole connections, which I actually don't care about right now. I just want to see how this thing looks all together. I think for that... Oh, of course, that's what these two screws are for. That's where you hook up the twin lead. So the twin lead, both ends have these guys on them. So one end goes to your receiver, your TV, and the other end goes to these two. So, what the heck, I guess I can hook it up. Let her realize how simple it is. Just need a screwdriver. The thing I always hated about these is, as you get them snugged down tight with that screw, as you turn the screw, it always turns the terminal below it. That's good. And of course, the other thing I hate about these is there's a real strong tendency for these wires to break off. I see a lot of these vintage antennas where these forks are gone, or whatever you call these spade terminals. And people strip back the insulation and they wrap that around the screw. Okay. Now they give you 4 of these little plastic doodads. I'm not sure where these go. Because I think I'm done. I think all I have to do is this. Well, I can see one place where maybe one goes is there. But what about the other oh, yeah, once again I'm being stupid. They go under here. You don't want to scuff up your nice TV cabinet top. Speaking of being scuffed up, I could use a little of that Novus number 2 polish on this base. So I guess then you don't put any cap on the top of this. I guess that hole there just is going to be there. Turn that down a little more snugly. And there she is. Piece of cake. So that was that hole I was talking about on top. I just guess that's just the way it is. To give you a better sense of the scale of this antenna here, it is on top of my Dumont Clifton next to an early RCA VHF rabbit ear antenna. So as you can see, it's pretty sizable. How well does it work? Do those curly cues really make a difference? I don't know. Maybe I'll play around with that in a future video. And finally, let's take a closer look at this Bakelite cabinet. Under these bright lights, I can see the pattern even better now, and I really like it. It's the nature of Bakelite, the way they mold this, that it ends up getting these kind of waves or patterns in it. They're really nice. Alright, so let's squirt a little Novus on here. If this was really dirty, I'd wash it down with some soap and water first, but this isn't that bad. Just some very light blemishes and some watermarks from a few drops of rain that landed on it. You've seen me do this before, especially if you watch that 20x12 restoration. Now some of that's dirt, but some of that is actually just a really thin layer of the Bakelite itself, because the stuff is very mild abrasive. Yep, definitely looking better, but I think another pass will really make it nice. And after this, I like to use either Simichrome or Meguiar's cleaner wax. Not just regular Meguiar's like Tech Wax or Car Wax. The cleaner wax also has a really super fine abrasive in it. Hence the name. It's both a cleaner and a wax. Yeah, wow, this is nice. This is nice. I kind of hate finding such really nice things because I don't like parting with them, but I've got a few of these now and I definitely need to sell one or two off. One more go, we'll do it. Here it is after 3 passes, and I sure hope the camera's picking up how nice this is. Not just shiny, but the really nifty pattern in the Bakelite. Now if you're wondering what cabinet am I going to put in this, well, if you may recall that I got a chassis recently from a video camera member in Arizona. I actually have restored that, and it is working, and it's going to go in here. I haven't posted any video on it, although I do have footage, and I might. It was a convoluted, frustrating project, but it is working. And I kind of like that, because that chassis came from one of these. He had one on eBay for a long time, and classifieds and video camera trying to sell it. And finally he had to sell it to some guy that just wanted the cabinet. So he took out the chassis, and I ended up with it, and I'm going to put that chassis right back into one of these cabinets and make another Admiral 20x12 live again. Alright, so that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this look at ARCI 2014.